Hey guys, welcome back to Water Watch. This is the last in this video series, and in my opinion, it's probably the most important. So previously we've talked about some of the issues in wastewater, some of the ways they're being managed, and some of the ways that they can be improved. And today we're going to be talking about what you can do personally to make a difference. So as we've discussed before, wastewater management is super important to people and to the environment. We've talked about the UN Sustainable Development Goals before, and wastewater management impacts on almost every single one of them. So what can one person do as an individual to make a difference to an issue this big? So one of the most obvious ways is to just pay attention to what you're putting in the wastewater system. So don't put things down the toilet that shouldn't go down there. So that's these flushable wipes that aren't actually flushable, condoms, really anything other than what you'd expect to go down a toilet. The other way is through your product choices. So there are a lot of products out there. I'm not going to try to sell you on anything, but there are a lot of products out there that are made from environmentally sustainable components, like say they're recycled or something. There are also a lot of companies that donate a share of their profits to building wastewater infrastructure in the third world, which is a massive issue, and ties in really neatly to things like reduced inequalities and gender equality as well. And of course, if you run your own business or if you're planning on starting one, that's really something that you could consider for your company. Companies that donate a share of their profits not only help the world in a huge way, but it's also an incentive for people to try those products. And if more companies were doing that, it'd have a really big impact on the world. Last week we talked about legislation, and legislation is a super powerful tool for managing environmental issues, but only if it's done properly. Legislation is primarily reactive. Politicians will make laws that aren't necessarily the best laws, but they're the laws that they think will win them votes. So if wastewater management is an important issue for the voters, then it will become an important issue for the politicians. So that means you can have an impact on the laws that are made, either through getting involved politically, which is not necessarily running for office. That's things like going to demonstrations or writing a letter to your MP. And also when election time comes, you can look up the policies of all the different parties and you can vote for which one you think has the policies that most align with your views. So you're probably thinking, that's great. I can change what I put in wastewater. I can change my product choices. I can integrate sustainability into my business if I have one. And I can get involved politically, but I'm still just one person. There's billions of people in the world. Won't it still not have an impact, even if I do all those things? Well, we haven't yet talked about the most impactful thing that you can do, and that is to talk to other people about it. We all have friends and family members, hopefully, and social media has made it so easy to reach out to a whole bunch of people at the same time. Studies have shown that more than seeing something on TV, more than reading about it, hearing about something from a friend or family member changes someone's behavior more than any of those things. So if you just talk to people about these issues, about why they're important and about why people's behaviors need to change, then you can get everyone to do those things, to watch what they put in their wastewater, to change their product choices, put sustainability in their business and get involved politically. And then suddenly you've made a huge impact. And if you do that to your friends and they do that to their friends, the world's your oyster. So thanks for listening, guys. Have a think about doing some of those things because it's really impactful and it'll make a huge change to the world.